he has a start on this.
Looks live to me.
Oh, does it? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think we're on the
Oh,
air. I've got live on my screen.
oh, do you? I did not. Mine just still has scheduled. So, uh, who knows, dude? Who knows? This is the Mickey Mouse show that I'm apparently running, everybody. So, Ed, we'll go off of you. Um,
Cool.
if yours says live, then I'll assume that we're live. It's good to
All
see you,
right.
buddy. All the way
You
from the
too, man.
future.
Damn, you took my joke. I normally introduce myself as from the future. So,
You are from the
yeah,
future.
I'm like 17 hours ahead of you. It's good here, by the way. You have things to look forward to.
I can't wait, dude. I've never been to Australia. I've been in New Zealand. Well, that's not true. I have been to Australia, but like for a very short period of time, and I saw nothing when I was there. Um, so when I was in the
What's the
Navy,
story there?
happened.
Right. Okay.
We pulled in. Yeah, we pulled into Perth. But like literally only saw like the port, and then we left. Um,
Okay.
so it was very uneventful. But I've heard many good things. I'm a big fan of many of your sayings, although I know none of what they mean. Um, I've just been telling
Well,
everybody that I'm not here to fuck spiders, and they don't even know what I'm talking about. So, yeah.
that's one of our best sayings. I've got a
Yeah.
few others for you that over the course of the summit, I'll definitely expose you to for sure.
But we are going to talk about the upcoming affiliate summit in August, the weekend of August. Fill me in. I already forgot.
21st to 23rd. So Friday,
That's right.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely pumped to have you and the crew coming, man. It's means a lot to us. You know, we realize we're a long way away, and it's still there's a lot of the CrossFit I guess ecosystem that hasn't been to Australia. So it's really awesome to get you
Well,
and the
I
team here.
we work with quite a few affiliates in Australia and have I was talking to quite a few of them over the past couple of weeks and like trying to get them all to go so that we can hang out.
Sure,
Um,
awesome.
but I'm excited. So I'll let you kind of give everybody just a general overview of the summit. How many of you guys done so far? What have they been like, to date? And then we'll kind of dive into like what we can look forward to outside of obviously me being there. This is gonna be great. Um,
That's
but yeah, like tell us a little bit about the summits.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, all around the world, the country managers and field reps and the affiliate teams try to run these affiliate summits to bring our affiliate community together. And you know, a number of affiliate owners have probably already been to quite a few, but there's a few different iterations of them. We when we first came on the scene as the sort of the country manager team, myself, Lily, Alice, and Leah in this part of the world, we're pretty keen to get the big shindig happening. We just thought it'd be really nice for a little bit of like emotional nourishment, if you will, after COVID to just like bring as many people together in person as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was like maybe 2022. We did that,
Okay.
and then since then we've actually opted for some smaller, more sort of fireside chat type gatherings.
Okay.
And the reason for that is like Australia's a big ass country. So it's quite difficult for some of our affiliates to travel to, east to west coast, like where you were in Perth, is a 4 hour flight away, man. Like it's a
Well,
decent
dude, so
time away.
speaking of Australia being a big ass country, I don't know how. Oh, I was hanging out with some buddies and we went down some tinfoil hat YouTube rabbit holes. And one of them, which I found out was true, is that Australia, by sheer size, is not appropriately represented on maps in the globe. Uh,
Right.
meaning, meaning like it's much smaller on a globe and a map than it actually is it's like almost as large as the U.S.
Yeah, right. So
But
like
that's
they
not
do it
that's
on
not what it
maps
looks
just for
like.
convenience.
Listen, dude, I didn't make the maps. I don't know. I was like, oh man, I feel like Australia got the short end of the stick on that because it definitely doesn't look that damn big, but it's huge.
Were
It's
you diving
huge,
into
and
some like flat Earth stuff?
yeah,
Yeah, that and
let's
the 7 layers of like I would just like eat a couple of edibles and then you never know where you end up. So,
well, most of Australia is desert. Like most of
right,
the country is like
right,
completely uninhabitable desert, and then the east coast, west coast, and a little bit of the south is
yeah.
inhabited. But where was I going with that? Look, we've really opted to try and have smaller gatherings over the last couple of years, and there's some benefits to being in that smaller room,
Right.
um, but we really felt that the time had come again to have a bigger shindig. And we've got some really exciting people coming over. Yourself, obviously. Boz is joining us.
I saw
and
that.
We've managed,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah, and almost sort of 12 years ago now, in exactly the same location that the summit is in this year, we had the CrossFit tour. So we just sort of felt like that was a nice throwback to the old
That's
school, because
rad.
there's a huge amount of the affiliate owners that were at that tour have already signed up for the summit. So we're trying to, like I said, sort of throw back and tip our cap to that moment in time, which was a real landmark moment for this part of the world with CrossFit.
How
So, yeah.
many affiliates total are in Australia at this point?
Yeah, at the moment about 380, and then New Zealand's got about another 85, and then we'll also have representation from like Southeast Asia as well coming down.
Oh, cool. What's the relationship between you Aussies and the Kiwis? Like, what do you guys get along? What, like, is there? I don't know. I know what they say about you guys. I don't know what you guys say about them.
Well, I would say we get along. No, like I think there's a real sort of there's a tight knit relationship there,
Yeah.
especially amongst the CrossFit community, because
Yeah.
they've effectively developed at the same time.
Right.
In saying that, it would be remiss of me to pretend that there's not differences between the communities, different challenges. I think they're in different probably stages of their growth and life cycle within CrossFit.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's and the cool thing is the communities know each other so well. You know,
Yeah.
like they're often at the same events. But yeah, there's certainly differences between the two.
So, give us a little. Who are the other speakers? Like, so I'm an affiliate owner in that region. Maybe it's a trip for me. Maybe it's not. Why the hell should I take time away from, family in the business to go to one of these little cult gatherings?
Yeah, well, do you know what cult gathering? Yeah, that's actually that was the other name apart from Summit that we were sort of tossing up.
Yeah.
But we went with Summit.
Listen,
it
was my idea. I'm still upset that we didn't go with that.
Keep throwing them. One of them will stick soon, I think. Do you know what, Fern? Like, I think people travel to these events for different reasons, and I think a lot of people often come and they don't exactly know why they're going. They just sort of feel like, hey, this sounds like something I should be going to. And like, first and foremost, before the speakers, like I think there is definitely that connection piece, which is really, really important. Like, as you would well know, at times there's a bit of a loneliness to owning an affiliate and being a gym owner, and sort of feeling like you're the only one going through things. So events like this, where you get to just spend time with your peers and speak really candidly and open up, I think that should never be underestimated. So that's one thing that you can certainly get out of it. And it reminds me of a time in the affiliate lounge at the games. I once heard you speak, and you said something, and I remember thinking to myself, I genuinely thought I was the only person that experienced that. And little moments like that, whether it's in little conversations or with speakers at events like this, are just worth their weight in gold. So we've got obviously yourself and the Best Hour team, which I think from like a business acumen piece, like I think our community is just going to absolutely eat up. Like, they've been exposed to that type of content, but given, like, I've had the pleasure of seeing you speak a number of times, and I know a lot of our affiliates work with you, but for our affiliates that don't, I just think that will be such an informative and honestly quite inspiring thing for them. I think having Boz there, so Boz is from Boz was at the original tour as well, which is a nice little throwback.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, I think it's really important for our affiliates to feel really connected to, let's call it the mothership. And like these characters like Boz and Dave and Nicole, like we've grown up like idolizing them, basically on TV or on computer or whatever it is,
Right.
but to actually be in the same room with people like that, and get, let's call it a state of industry update on where CrossFit is at. There's obviously a lot of change going on right now.
Yeah.
That's really important. And then we're going to get a little bit more granular. So we've got some specialized coaches from particular fields coming in. So we've got Mark Ireland, who's part of the Bergner weightlifting course. He'll be speaking. We've got Rob Noy, who's part of the gymnastics course. They'll both be running individual sort of presentations and activations. Got a couple of old school games athletes that are really entrenched in the community and in the affiliate scene. And I think like that connective piece between the sport, the high level sport, and the affiliate, that means a lot to the Oceania community. Like, we really established ourselves on the sports scene. So just hearing from all these people amongst being able to chat to your affiliate owners, and we're going to have some other activations and presentations as well. So we're sort of drip feeding them out as we go. But we really feel like there's going to be plenty to chew on over 3 days. That's for sure.
That's cool. You brought up something that I think is often overlooked, and that is just the seemingly random connections and conversations that happen at these events. I think, given that the organizers have, put thought into the presenters and the content and all of that, which you guys have done a tremendous job, in my opinion, organizing it, that is obviously beneficial. And no matter what event I go to, and I've been to quite a few events, meaning as an attendee, the most impactful things are always what happens in between sessions, right? You meet somebody, you have a conversation, it sparks an idea, you do a follow-up. It's like, that's not even why you go, but it ends up being the most impactful thing. And you said, you said something earlier, just like people don't even know why they go. I would even go further and say, like, they don't even know what they're trying to get out of it, but the event will take care of that. And if an event is run well, you will go there and you'll either hear something, you'll have a conversation with somebody, you'll hear somebody else having a conversation about something that you're like, oh shit, like what is that a thing? Like, I'll give you an example. I went to the Adirondack Challenge, which is up in New York in Lake Placid. It was like a local event up there. They had like 350 athletes from like something crazy, like in the old hockey rink where the USA beat the Russians back in the 80s. And I was chatting with a bunch of affiliate owners, but then at the social that night, somebody had brought up that Wodify has an MCP integration with Claude. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Just like a random AI conversation that nobody was intending on having that solved a problem that I've had for 9 months.
Sure.
This is me. Like I was there presenting, and my point is, like, you will get value out of going to these things. So if you don't put this in your plan for the year, if you don't budget for it, like, please, for the love of God, start doing that, because you're missing out on a tremendous amount of, 1, education, 2, connection, which might even be more important. And 3, it'll just be fun. Like, we're all pack animals, and we didn't get into this business so we could sit around, talking to fake people on the internet. Like, we got this because, like, we want to be with other people, and this is a prime opportunity to do that. And I try to go to as many in-person events as humanly possible. Like, I'm just obviously spend a ton of time on the computer, which I hate. So anytime I can go be with other people, I'm like, sign me up, dude. Like, how far? I don't care. We're going, So anybody that's on the fence, like, get off the fence and just go.
Yeah, dude. I mean, just like yourself, I find myself at events like really frequently, and I never fail to leave inspired. And that can sometimes just be like, at the semifinals this year, we just had a CrossFit booth, and I just stood there and just interacted with the community as they came by. And I left sort of feeling, man, I needed that. Like, I really needed to see my people and have those little conversations. And sometimes it is something like, about like the latest AI integration. And sometimes it's just like, hey, how is everything going? Like, tell me how you are. Like, I think that's really important. That interaction piece, like, just 2 things that came to mind on it. First, we often do like post-event surveys, and one of the things that we get, universally gets the most sort of, I absolutely love this piece, was like, we sort of call them the round tables, but basically it's the part of the course where we sit people down together and then, somewhat force interaction. Really, it's just a springboard for the first 5 minutes. But it's like, for all the amazing sort of activations and presenters that we have, and of course, going to have yourself there. Actually, that moment spent with the other affiliate owners is the ones that people find most special. And like, a friend of both yours and mine, like Dan Chaffee, he's been the biggest proponent of this. He's like, in these gatherings, in these events, you have to have space for people to interact. Do not jam pack that schedule to the point that people are running around. It's like having a class that's over programmed. Like, you won't have those 2 people get to have that conversation at the squat rack.
Dude, this should not be understated pitch coming here, everybody. So Affiliate Con, if you're not going, go. But the reason I bring that up is because what you just said, when we made the schedule last year and then again this year, I was adamant about this. I said, we are not going to jam the schedule from 8 to 5. So across, I think it's across the 2 days. I think there's something like 4 hours of unstructured time for that exact reason, so that people can go have conversations and talk to the speakers or to other affiliate owners or hang out or whatever. But I was adamant, and I was like, we will have a 90-minute block in the morning and in the afternoon. It might not be 90, but like it's a decent amount of time. I want to say it's like maybe it's 3 hours across the 2 days. But the point being that connection is a huge part of that. And if you don't create the space for the connection, then everybody leaves feeling just a little bit unsatisfied because you wanted to talk to somebody, but you had to rush over to another room, or you were in the middle of a conversation and you had 5-minute break before the next speaker goes on. And I've been to those events, and quite frankly, they're not fun when you pack the schedule like that. So you have to create that, and we were really adamant about that, and that's why I was pushed so hard. I'm like, nope, we have to have breaks in the morning, breaks in the afternoon. Run them into lunch, so you technically have 2 hours in some of those instances if you schedule them properly. Because
and we've got a few social sections in there as well, right, Fern?
Well, we have an event Saturday night, right? We have an event Saturday night. We have like a whole. We brought in a comedian, not Jason Ackerman, who's going to do a stand-up set Saturday night. But Jason is going to open for him. But this is. And that's why I think people make mistakes when putting on events is forgetting about the participant experience. You spend so much time planning the logistics and the speakers and all that other shit. You're like, yeah, but how is it if I'm there sitting in a seat, like not getting a break for 9 hours, right? Like that's exhausting, dude. So I think obviously I agree with Daniel Chaffee. Like I think he's the GOAT. But you have to make space for that. And because if you don't, one, you're going to miss out on something that somebody else is doing or knows that you could benefit from. I would argue more importantly, whether you think you do or not, you have something to offer somebody else. And not creating the space to just have that conversation where somebody, if you're a 5 or 6 year affiliate owner, listen, man, there's just shit that that somebody in their first year doesn't even know they're supposed to know.
Yep.
And regardless of how you're doing, that you have value to provide them. I'll be like, I went through that. Like that's totally normal. Like here's what I did in order to solve that problem or whatever it is. So I think go in there and really just be open to have those conversations, man. And because this Ed, like you go to the level 1 and everybody sits in their chairs all quietly prior to the opening remarks, because it's this weird dick measuring contest and nobody's afraid. Nobody knows what to say to anybody. And it's the same when we go to these events. It's just create that space. Like one of my favorite things to do at level 1s is when we're doing registration, I literally just have everybody stand up when they're all sitting in there in their seats, and I'm like, you got to talk to somebody else. Tell them something interesting about yourself, something uninteresting. I don't care. When it gets weird, break contact, go to the next person, repeat the process. And that singular action at the beginning before anything starts sets the tone for the whole weekend. Every single time. Everybody's got questions. They want to talk to people, because like I want to have fun too. And I'm pumped, dude. Like I can't wait to go and hear everybody talk and listen and hang out, dude. Like I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we're so excited, man. And the social thing, look, I can't say we have a comedian on Saturday night, although maybe
I could tell a joke, dude. I can be funny.
Yeah.
Ackerman's not the only funny person on this podcast, just so that we're on the same page.
Fern, who told you to be funny? I'm just curious who told you that.
Christian, do you like your job?
You're so funny. Fern.
There you go. That's funny. It's funny for
me.
That's
funny
for
me.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have an open mic night. But look, just lastly on that space, like I mean, even what feels like an agenda that might have some gaps in it, let's call it a couple of 90-minute lectures each day. So there's hours of gaps. that is still like trying to take a sip of water from a fire hydrant in terms of the information you will get. And I find myself after some of these like lectures, which are just like everything that's said was just so mind blowing. Then like I've written a page of notes, and I actually need some time to like marinate. And I often turn to my wife who I'm in the gym with, and I'm like, tell me what you thought of that. And like we're both just like, I just need a minute. Maybe we'll go for a walk, and we might go for like walk for months and still talk about lectures and notes from that. So you actually need that time to process what you're learning. And yeah, I think that's why the space is so important.
You bring up 2 points, both of which, so one, we've heard about feedback from the masterminds that we run for Affiliate University. So we put those on pause for this year for a lot of reasons, but we're bringing those back for 2027, and we're going to do them regionally to be smaller. But one of the things we've been tossing around is changing the schedule for those masterminds and making them like 2.5 days. So maybe like a half day on Friday, a full day on Saturday, and then toying with the idea of Sunday. Still, you need to be there. We recommend that you be there, but Sunday is a total get shit done day, meaning like there's nothing on the schedule other than us being there and be like, all right, you had a shitload of notes from the past day and a half. You're going to plan it all and get it all done today. Like we're going to sit here, we're going to lock ourselves in a room, and you're not going to leave here with a to-do list. You're going to leave here with a done list. Like the shit's done. So that's something we've been toying with. Oh shit, what was the other thing? It'll come back to me. But same thing with Affiliate Con. I don't want you to see everything at Affiliate. You're not going to be able to see everything at Affiliate. And I don't think you should. Like if you see everything, this is the people that just go there and it's just like mental masturbation. You're just consuming everything. I'm like, go there with intent, get what you need, and then synthesize it and execute on it. So like for those of you that are going to go to the summit, what I highly recommend is like have some intention when you go. Be like, hey, I really need to sort this out, like whatever it is. And the likelihood is like you're going to figure out you need to sort some other shit out too. But like you need to walk away with everybody, like have like an objective when you go there, so that when you leave there, it's not, you don't listen. It's cool that you feel good when you leave the event. What's not cool is if you feel good when you leave the event and then you go do nothing after that. The whole point of these is to learn some information and then execute, like go do the thing. And if you're trying to absorb everything, then you will do nothing. Trust me, as somebody who's done that many times. So have some intention around it, and then go back next year, because listen, the shit that you need to accomplish, you're not going to get done in 12 months anyway. So like, don't try to eat the whole elephant in one bite. Like understand, like there will be multiple iterations of you learning and your evolution and all that kind of, like, as you know, by the way, I haven't talked to you in person, well, not in person, but like verbally, since you guys got the second location. Congrats.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah. And like, it's funny, I've run so many of these events and been to so many of these events, but I haven't been to one of these events since we've had our second location. And it's sort of what it reminds me of is like you come to these events as a slightly different version of yourself each time.
Oh yeah.
So like our experienced affiliate owners that have been to events like this, like no matter how many you've been to, you're always going to get something out of it depending on where you were at. Like I'm going to the Coaches Owners Conference, then we're running this, then I'm coming to Affiliate Con, and I know each of those events are going to speak to something slightly different depending on what evolution of the gym we're in, or I'm in right there at that point. So yeah, man, like it's kind of exciting to be coming to it with lots of questions because we've got this new baby, the new second location. So yeah, man.
Listen, when you emailed me, you're like, it's going great. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because I think I told you, I was like, don't do it.
Well, Fern, you said multiple times you constantly are trying to talk people out of it.
I mean, yes, not as an absolute statement. And I've changed my tune about multi-location. Like I've done a hard 180 on it over the years. This is not a secret. When I tried it, I don't know whether it's 8-9 years ago, I failed for multiple reasons. So then I was on the it's bad train. And, you know, hindsight is 2020. I was just not prepared for that. I thought the gym was in a place that it was not. because like you only know what you know at that point. And I would totally do multi-location again. It'd be very different. And
Sure.
it's not that I don't want people to do multi-location. I actually do want people to do multi-location. But I've seen and experienced what happens with multi-location if you do it prematurely. And you will end up with one location, is what I'm telling you. I've done it. I've seen it more times than I care to count. But I said it at AffiliateCon last year that I believe there is a very real scenario in the future where there are more affiliates and less affiliate owners, and I actually think that is a good thing.
We picked, your brain. You were so generous with your time, and we asked a couple of other people around the multi-location piece who'd done it before, a couple who'd done it, and then decided to pull back from it. You were really candid with that, and we I think like this sounds obvious, but you just have to go into something like that super eyes wide open and with a clear intention of why you're doing this. Like I remember it very vividly that I think you said, and I don't want to misquote you, so please correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember you said if you did it again, you'd do it for a different reason.
Yes.
And you shared, I think that reason was like, to build an empire as opposed to just, I want to try and duplicate the revenue. And I think we actually got off that call, even though like, you shared with us some of the challenges. We were like, okay, we're doing this for the right reason. Like, because we really felt good about that. We're like, we want to share what we have with more people. That was our number one priority. And that's when we took the dive. That's when we're like, yeah, cool, this is going to happen.
And these are perfect examples of like, obviously we're having this conversation here, but these are examples of the hallway conversations that are going to happen at the summit, which is like, you're going to talk to somebody that you've like seen on the old Instagram. You've got a burning question about it. They've done something that you haven't done before. They've done something you're thinking about. They've made the mistake already, and they can help you not avoid all mistakes, but they can help you avoid the obvious ones that you just don't know are there. And say, hey, if you're going to do that, this is what you need to think about, right? And those are the most important things. And I think you said something when we started this, which is like affiliate ownership can be lonely. And I would extend that to just leadership in general is lonely.
Sure. Yeah.
And when I think about like, number one, why do I go to events? One is because like there is a component of this that is lonely. There's just certain conversations that you can't really have with your coaches and your members. One, because they're not appropriate, but two, most of them wouldn't understand. They don't get it.
No.
And it's not because they're bad people or they're dumb or anything like that. It's like, this is just something that you can't know unless you do it. Like you just don't know the pressure of that kind of stuff. And I think that is one of the huge unlocks. And what we see a lot in Affiliate University is just like getting in there and people saying, oh, like to your point earlier, like, I thought I was the only one. I'm like, no, dude, literally everybody has this problem. Like I tell people 5 times a week, you are not unique, right? You're special. You are a special snowflake, but your problems are not unique. So, and if I'm sitting around thinking that like I'm the only person who's ever done this, I'm unique, these are unique circumstances, then the reality is then there's no solution for that problem.
Yeah.
But if you realize like, oh, this is a very common thing that happens to basically everybody, that means somebody's figured it out. Somebody has lessons learned from this and can help me smooth out whatever this transition is going to be or avoid that mistake altogether. But the first thing is just understanding that like, you're the culture in your affiliate is unique, but the business itself is not unique, right? Like, dude, I bring up the same thing when, coaches are like, I only create coaches within, like, nobody understands our culture. And I'm like, bro, do you guys do wall balls in a special way or something? Like I don't think it's going to take me very long to figure out your culture. Like CrossFit gyms are pretty much the same. You might speak a different language. You might wear different shoes, but at the end of the day, I'm like, walk in and I'm like, nope, I get it. I understand how this works. And I think they just don't understand that because like we get in our bubble and then we need to do a better job of getting out of our bubble and realize like there's a lot out there.
And something that I found, I mean, I haven't probably been exposed to as many other communities outside the CrossFit community, but CrossFitters and CrossFit affiliate owners are really quite good at being vulnerable when they need to be. I find maybe it's just the nature of being a CrossFitter. Like, you realize you suck at a lot of things early. You're like, wow, I cannot do ring dips at all, and like I just have to put that out there to the world that like this is something I need to work on.
Right.
Once you in these environments, once you set the table, I actually find people are really good at putting their hand up and being like, we've actually been really struggling with this. So rather than getting this sort of stonewall where everyone's just, like you said before, like a dick measuring contest where everyone's just pretending everything's going perfectly for them, what you get is some real candid stuff. It's just like, I'm glad to hear that's working for you. We tried that and it just flopped at our gym. I don't know what we did wrong. Like, they're the type of conversations that are super invaluable, but you only get them if people are willing to share. So I see a big part of us running these events is just like creating that space where people feel like they can just be really candid. And to your point, like, people can share with coaches, and you can even show them on paper, this is what's happening. But there's something intangible when you speak to someone who you know is actually experiencing that as well.
Yeah, it's I always think it's funny when, not funny, I understand it when a new coach or a new affiliate owner takes over an affiliate and they think they know. Like, I just like, and I'm like, you don't know. You couldn't possibly know, right? You think you understand how heavy that barbell is going to be until you put it on your back. And then you're like, fuck, that's a lot heavier than I thought it was going to be. It is the exact same scenario for affiliate ownership. And then that will happen multiple times in your progression as an affiliate owner. You're like, oh, I think I know how that's going to be. And you get there, you're like, that's not at all how I thought that was going to go. Right? Like, I thought that was going to be like this, and it went completely the opposite direction for whatever reasons unknown to me. And I think those are the things you need to be able to talk through. Like, I've seen conversations where people, they don't even know what they're talking about, meaning like they don't even know where they're going as they're just talking it out. And then in the process of talking it out, they start to realize and learn stuff. And nobody's even said anything. I'm like, I think you solved your own problem. You just needed to just get it out, dude.
The amount of times that happens in the round table, like, we give someone 2 minutes to speak, and we actually say, hey, if you finish early, no one's going to say anything. Like, you're going to get your 2 minutes. So people finish in like a minute, and then there's like this, like, oh, that's right, I've got to keep talking. Well, why don't I keep going and just like chew on this for a bit? And by the end of it, it's like, sounds like you don't have a problem anymore, or sounds like you know how to solve this problem that you said at the start, I don't know how to solve. So yeah, man, it's a pretty remarkable environment like that.
So what else does everybody have to look forward to at the summit? Like, what else is going on? So you've got speakers, you have breakouts, you've got training breakouts, coaching breakouts, business breakouts. We're clearly going to train, because that's what we do.
We're gonna train, and we've made no secrets about this. About 12 years ago, we did Griff on the beach. So we're doing Griff on the beach again. That's going to happen. And we still have the time from that particular event. So we're going to try and hunt that down. We've got a couple of parties planned and a dinner planned, which is going to be really, really nice. Like most Australians have probably visited the Gold Coast at some point, but it's a pretty beautiful part of the world. So we're at the SeaWorld Resort, which is like, SeaWorld's pretty gnarly in itself. So there's plenty of other things going on, man. And if people like, we've managed to sort of come up with a pretty nice deal around, where you can stay and whatnot. So if people want to make a couple of days of it and take that time after it so that they just have a clear head and do some touristy stuff, the Gold Coast is not a bad spot for that at all.
I'm excited, dude. I don't think I've booked a hotel yet. I should probably do that.
Maybe we're responsible for that. I think we have a room for you, but
I don't know. Well, we'll figure it out. I got a plane ticket. That's about as far as I got. When people ask me about travel, I'm like, I don't know. I haven't got that far yet. But
we'll figure it out for sure.
So how many, if you can say, like, how many people are registered so far?
Yeah, we're on about the 130 mark, which honestly, this far out from that type of event.
Yeah, that's
given
great.
How we know it ramps up. Like, we're really, really, really pumped about that. And also, it's not lost on us that it's the middle of July, and we've got like everyone's attention is sort of on the games and things like that right now. So there's a little bit happening in our community between now and then. So we'll get some more eyes on it in the next it's about 8 weeks away now, maybe a little bit
Yeah.
less. So yeah, this will be easily the biggest individual gathering of affiliate owners that we've had. So yeah, pretty pumped about that.
And then correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not just affiliate. They can bring coaches as well.
Yeah, so we effectively have the way we offered it was that there's a complimentary ticket for each affiliate. So every affiliate can send one person complimentary, and that can be the affiliate owner. If they can't make it, they can sort of assign it to somebody else, and then they can bring extra coaches for there's a bundle that they can purchase with that. I mean, I can't speak. I know it's not easy for gyms to do because they've probably got classes that need to run during Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm hyper conscious of that. But the difference of having your coaches there and getting them to buy into all the stuff that we're talking about is pretty substantial compared to hearing it secondhand. And I've certainly noticed that myself. Like I used to come back and report about how great these events were. And I've got all this stuff to share with you guys. Like you wouldn't believe how good this speaker was. And he talked about this. How great is this, right? And it just doesn't land the same way. Then you bring them along and you sort of see their eyes just light up and you're like, cool, now you get it. Now you understand the power of this. And like for me, short term, we're trying to upskill our coaches and constantly, get them to the best version of themselves. Long term, I would love my coaches to be affiliate owners. So I want them to spend time with other affiliate owners. I want them to know what it's like to be in that driver's seat as much as possible. Events like this are pretty powerful for that.
They're huge, man. I was just at one of the Mayhem development weekends that we do with Mayhem, and shout out to Charlie Lima, who he's down in Texas. But he brought, dude, it was at least 3 coaches. It might have been more than that to the weekend. And I was chatting with him after we were done on Sunday. I said, how was it? What did the coaches get a lot about? And he's like, dude, they loved it. He's like, this helped connect so many dots for them and help them understand things that it's just hard. It's kind of like, like coaching your spouse, right? Like I can tell my wife a million times, but then if Ed walks in, he's like, do this. She's like, oh, that's great. I'm like, what? I told you that 100 times already. Like sometimes you just need, the message just needs to come from a different messenger sometimes. And then all of a sudden they're open to it. So if you have the ability to bring your coaches, you should bring them. I realize like not everybody has the full staff, but if somebody's looking for the approval to shut down classes for Friday and Saturday, I'm giving you the approval to do that. I'm giving you the it's okay to do that and to tell your members like we're gonna go and we're gonna spend 2 days just being better at the thing so that we can come back on Monday and provide more value for you. I think your members would totally get it.
I love when we hear our clients announce to their community when they jump into an affiliate university and like the response that they get out of that. And anytime you tell them like, hey, like we care about this thing, like we're trying to get better, and they're all stoked about it.
Yeah, your members want you to win.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, all of this almost is about the service that will be provided to them. Like when coaches and owners go to things like this, like the service that the members experience is only going to improve. So, this is
something that I did not realize when we first started doing meaning for Best Hour and Affiliate U, that, so for people that haven't heard the terms, you have B2C businesses, which is business to consumer, and you have B2B businesses, which is business to business. But then what I figured out is like, we are actually a B2B to C business, meaning like everything that we do ultimately should be felt by the client, right? We're doing the actual interaction with the other business, with the affiliate owner, but my end state is actually past that, which is like, we have to consider that when we look at how we do things and why we do them. Because if you understand you're actually in a B2B to C business, it changes what I think is acceptable and what things you choose to pursue and what things you don't choose to pursue. Because you can choose to pursue things. I'll even be more blunt for that. We could do things as Best Hour that would be good for us, maybe good for the affiliate, and not good for the athlete. And we don't.
Yep.
And we see plenty of gym owners that come to us that have done that. They're like, hey, I worked with mentorship, whatever, and we ran that and it sucked.
Yeah.
Because it's like maybe it brought a lot of money, but it like didn't do the thing I wanted it to do.
But that money's short term, always, dude. Always short term. So I think what you bring up there is like a really good point, is just like, I think if you are on the fence or you're worried about classes, don't be worried about classes, dude. Do open gym for 2 days and get yourself to the summit. Your members probably want to have a free for all anyway. They'll probably be happy if you do that. But ultimately, like, it's okay to shut down the business to go learn some stuff and just get into a room with other people who are like-minded, going through the same thing as you are. Your affiliate will be fine if you have to shut it down. And just that's a messaging thing. Hey, we really value giving you the best hour of your day. Shameless plug. We're going to go spend 2 days, 3 days trying to get better at this so that when we come back, like, this experience is leveled up from what it currently is today, because we want to provide you more value. Listen, nobody's going to be mad about that.
No.
And if they are, get rid of them.
Yeah, that's right. It's I'm going to talk about shameless plugs. I'm going to shamelessly rip that from you and actually send that out to our affiliate owners, because it's such an important recalibration of like, this is a long-term investment in your clients, your business, your coaches, yourself. So the short-term hurt, and that's not lost on me. Like, getting flights and doing things like that. Like, I know that stuff is annoying, and we acknowledge that, but we promise we are going to deliver something really special in August. So yeah,
it's gonna be fun, man. Let me ask you this, a little bit off topic, but what's something that you learned as the country manager that you didn't kind of previously know, being an affiliate owner and on seminar staff?
Oh man, that's how long do we have left on this podcast? I feel
as long as you want. You're still in the future, and this is the last thing you have to do today, so you're good.
I want to give you something tangible, but I think this is going to be pretty high level. I think one of the most powerful things for our affiliate owners is they can reserve the right to change their mind on things. So I often speak to people who have got this sort of, well, we would never do this, we would never do this, we would never do this, and we always do this. And I candidly have been one of them. And just as I spend more and more time with our affiliate owners just talking about how things are going, I think it's really important that you constantly are assessing what you're doing. Now, I'm not saying like just jumping around and like, pursuing the next thing, but I think it's like strong convictions held loosely. Like, as long as you've got the North Star in place, which is super important, like, what is the mission? What are the culture, or the values? What is the culture of the business? You can then reserve the right to be like, hey, this was the thing we were doing, and it was part of us for a long time. It just doesn't feel like that's us anymore. So we're going to, we've looked at it really closely. This is the thing we're going to do. And I can think of just lots of different iterations of that, in terms of, like, again, to give you something tangible, like the way people might hire coaches. Like there's this, like, people who are very staunch, like, we would never do anything except hire from within our gym. And I'm like, cool, like, that sounds like you're really strong on that. And then, like, they're like, well, we actually had to bring somebody in, and they were freaking amazing. So cool, like, new facts, you're allowed to have a new perspective.
Right.
I know that's
programming.
A little bit philosophical. Yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's not at all. I think it's not at all. And I think that's a great piece of insight that would serve any entrepreneur well. Meaning, like, hey, you probably have strong convictions currently that are rooted in some sort of idea that's flawed, because you just don't know what you don't know yet.
Yep.
And when you learn something new, not only can you change your mind, you probably should change your mind.
That's exactly it.
Like, programming is one, like, that I've changed my mind on many times. I used to be like, hey, only one workout a day. You should never do these things. You must run the 5K. I basically flipped on all of those at this point. I've done this for the better part of 20 years. the less I care about that stuff every single day. And
Yep.
the more I look at it through the lens of like, is what we're doing today going to get that person to come back tomorrow? Because if not, then I'm no longer in agreement with it.
Yeah. And
You know,
I think like on programming in particular, I've noticed the community sort of holds on to some things, and often the statement that I get is like, oh well, that's not, I mean, if I do that, it's not really CrossFit, is it? And my response is like, what do you mean, man? Like CrossFit to me, I mean, you lecture on this stuff as I do, like it's constantly varied functional movements at high intensity, but CrossFit is ultimately what works for people. So
right?
you can approach that thing from however you want. If you're getting people fitter, if you're getting people healthier, it's CrossFit in my book, because that's what CrossFit's about, trying to solve that problem.
Dude, the beauty of constantly varied functional movements executed at high intensity is the left and right lateral limits for what that can mean are basically infinite. Meaning like you can be as
Exactly.
creative as you would like to inside of that. And I think we should be a little bit more so if we go back a little bit, so if you've been at this a long time as I have, I think we've lost a little bit of creativity from a programming standpoint. We got so like pigeonholed around doing things, and we don't experiment as much as we used to. You know, thinking gymnastics, the endurance seminars, the, you know, like freaking Louis. I was doing like, I had people doing like banded chain stuff for a while. Like, was that smart? I don't know. Was it misapplied? Probably. Right? Did we learn some things from it? Absolutely. And I'm glad I did those things. Many of them, because I'm a better trainer and more educated about like where and when that could be useful down the road.
Well, what's funny is I think this giving yourself the grace to acknowledge when you've made a mistake and maybe change your mind actually gives you the confidence to be more creative. Because like if you do program some of that stuff and you're like, this didn't quite go down as well as I thought it would, you don't have to just die on that hill. Like me and one of my business partners, we often talk about the human flag saga, where we ran human flag, you know, like the flag against the pole. We ran progressions for them for like a couple of weeks, and like it just fell super flat. And like there's like nothing bad happened from it, but we always just like laugh about like it's a classic scenario. If we wanted to do this thing, it didn't work, put your hand up and be like, cool, we need to drop this, and we move forward. But we actually don't regret doing it.
No.
Because we learned something from it, which is like we just pushed the envelope too far from that. And to circle back to your original question, I think the affiliate owners that have that mindset are the ones that are really thriving, because then they apply it to everything: staff development, business systems, programming, you know, even just things as sort of, you know, basic as the class schedule. Like they just give themselves that space to try, assess, make mistakes, and then be like, I changed my mind. I think that's a really good quality.
I think you could go so far as to say if you've not changed your mind, then you haven't learned anything. Because I cannot think of a scenario in which like you learn something and you would not change your mind about something. It doesn't even matter what it is. Like I can't even count the number of things I've changed my mind on in 18 and a half years as an affiliate. Everything. There's probably nothing I haven't changed my mind on. Now I was really resistant in the early days, but I'm romantic about basically nothing at this point. I'm like,
yeah, that's important. I think like if you're the same gym you were in 2008, like that's a problem. If you're the same gym that you probably were in 2020, that's a problem. You know, like
dude, Joe
DeGain
had the best saying about this at a dinner that he and I were at, just the two of us, and it burned a hole in my brain forever. And he said, "I'm embarrassed of the gym owner I was 5 years ago, and I hope I'm embarrassed of the gym owner I am today in another 5 years." And I thought about that, and I was like, oh shit. Not only should I not be embarrassed about who I was 5 years ago, I should want to be embarrassed of who I am today in another 5 years. Because that means I'm way better.
Exactly.
Right? Like, why would I not want to be way better? You know? And that's why I'm constantly trying to get in the room with other people who have done stuff that I haven't done and know shit that I don't know, because I'm like, I'm totally fine like not knowing that. Like I try to live my life in this world of like, you know, far better than most, way worse than some. Like that's where the sweet spot for me. which is like far better than most, way worse than some. That means there's still room for me to grow, but it means I'm still progressing and getting better, right? But I've put in some time to do some things well, and for me, that's what I'm always striving for. Like because you're never done, right?
No.
And if you think you don't have anything to learn from going to one of these summits, then you should probably hang it up.
Yeah. It's been a pretty cool evolution for me. I mean, I've been on seminar staff since 2013, then in this country
Yeah, you and
manager
I
role
were right
since
around the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, 2020. And I just feel like our community is growing a lot in this space of just understanding it's okay to, like, you don't know what you don't know, and that's okay. And actually acknowledging that really helps you learn the next thing. The best affiliate owners I know are not trying to prove anything to anyone. They're trying to share when they think it will be helpful,
Mhm.
and then they're trying to listen when they know it will help, and that's basically all the time. So there's going to be a lot of that, man.
I love it. You brought up something that was like my message at the games last year. Like how I opened the talk was like, what do you not know? Because there's sure as shit something that you don't know. And if you're not asking that question on a daily basis, like understanding like there's something coming down the pipe that like is going to catch you off guard. So like you should live in a constant state of a little bit of like anxiety about something that you don't know. But
oh, don't worry, I do.
Yeah, as we all, like, nobody's immune to that. I don't care who you are or what you do. I don't think that'll ever go away. I think you just become accustomed to it, and then you start to seek it out after a while. Be like, it's no longer scary. It's more inquisitive moving forward. You're like, okay, there's something here I don't know. I don't know what it is, and it's not even bad. But if I'm preemptively looking for it, then what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to mitigate some risk down the road that I've not seen yet, simply by just asking more questions. Like, is that accurate? Should we be doing this? Why are we doing that? How could this be better? Like all of that shit. Just keep asking it. But you got to get yourself surrounded by people that operate like that, because you'll see how beneficial it can be for you, not just as a business owner, but just as a person.
Yeah. CrossFit has certainly taught me, both as an athlete and as a business person, that like those uncomfortable situations, you actually don't ever get to avoid them, but you will just reframe that like, that's right, this is where the value is. Like the third round of the 5-rounder where you think you can't finish, but you got to keep going. That's exactly where the value of that workout is. Just like that room where you're like, I don't know anything about this. That's where the value is.
Yeah, because now it's just like, oh, because business is the infinite game. Like there's levels to it, and there's always something else you can learn. Right when you get to a sweet spot, you're like, oh, I don't know jack shit about that particular thing. And to me, that used to be very intimidating. I now find it incredibly fun now, which is like, oh, meaning like I just have something else to dive into, and I can figure out how to make that work for the business, and then share that with other people. Like I can't learn enough these days, dude. And I'm totally fine, like, not knowing stuff, because nobody knows everything, and that's totally fine.
That's right.
I feel more comfortable when I realize what I don't know. Because it's when you like think you're like, oh, I don't know what I don't know, and you think you're like all comfortable. I'm like, that makes me uncomfortable. When I'm like, oh, here's these areas that like I know I don't know. I'm like, okay, this gives me clarity of what I need to like dig into.
Well, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. I think that's pretty common.
Yeah, it never stops. All right, last pitch. Anybody that's not going or thinking about going, sell them on it, Ed. Give it to them.
Well, look, I use this pitch for the open at my gym, and it tends to work pretty well. I also use it for our in-house comp that we have every year on our birthday. At the end of these events, I never speak to anyone who says, damn, probably wish I didn't come to that. But I will speak to a whole host of people on the Monday who are like, I'm really sad that I missed that. And I don't know if that appeals to people on a tangible level about what they're after. They can obviously reach out to myself, Lily, Leah, and Alice about like what they might get out of it. But I really feel strongly you will leave this thing being like, thank God I made space for this. And if you're on the fence, I reckon you'll see some stuff and be like, damn, like I really should have made the space for that. So that's my final pitch at this point, Fern.
Hey, in worst case scenario, it'll just be fun. So that's always the fallback. We're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna have a hell of fun. Yeah.
Dude, as always, I appreciate you. I'm super pumped about coming out there. I'm coming out there twice this year. I'll be out there in November as
Man,
well
you
for coaches.
and me are going to be
conference.
seeing a lot of each other in the next like 6 months. We've got
Can't wait.
coaches
Dude.
conference, and
You're the only
FleetCon,
redheaded. You're the only redheaded person I like. So this is good.
I don't know what other redheaded people you know. So,
awesome, dude. I can't wait to see you. If you guys are on the fence, go. For anybody that is interested in Affiliate Con, dude, the speaker list is rounding out very nicely. I'm stoked. It's going to be a great event. Tickets are on sale for that as well. Outside of that, dude,
VIP is going to open super soon. Cody just hit me up about it.
Oh, yes, that's right. VIP will open super soon. On there will be a Friday VIP event that is, if you are looking to get like well-rounded as an affiliate owner with like soft skills and hard skills, Friday will be for you. So
cool.
Outside of that, dude, I can't wait to see you, brother. I'll see you in a couple weeks at the games.
Yeah, we'll be at the games.
Great.
Fern, Christian, it's just a pleasure, guys. Thanks so much for having me on.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, see you guys.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Best Hour of Their Day podcast. We appreciate you listening and choosing to have us help you in your passion for coaching and affiliate ownership. You can find more episodes just like this on all podcast platforms. If you're interested in learning more, you can reach out to us on any social media platforms, or you can visit www.besthouroftheirday.com to book a call. If you found this episode helpful for you, please share it so that we can help other coaches and affiliate owners to help build a bigger and stronger CrossFit community. Thanks for listening.